A few months ago, I started asking myself the question that so many of us, I believe, are asking ourselves today. What if AI becomes better at doing the things that I do for a living? Now, as a software engineer, that conversation was not just a theoretical one. It was more of a practical one and a personal one at that. Over the years, I've watched AI write code. I've watched AI generate content. I've watched AI solve, human problems. And it makes me wonder, if AI could do all of these things, then where does that leave the rest of us? And then the more I watched AI getting better and better by the day, the more I kept asking myself a particular question: will I still remain valuable? Welcome to the Growth Code podcast, where it all happens. I am Ayo Moses, your host for this podcast. And here we talk about ideas, conversations, and lessons that will help us grow in life, career, and in business. And because we understand the fact that growth is not accidental, it is more of an intentional thing. And so let's dive straight into the conversation. Now, I'll be as honest as possible, right? When ChatGPT exploded, I had so many concerns because literally I could see AI write code. I saw AI generate content. I saw AI do things that, naturally we only thought only humans could do. And then I started asking myself the question, what happens next? Looking back now, I think I wasn't necessarily afraid of AI. I was only afraid of becoming irrelevant. Instead of panicking, I started reading a lot. I started asking myself so many questions. I started researching. I started thinking deeply, and I started listening a lot more. And here's one important concept that I found. Every generation experiences some form of technological disruption. Now, there was once a time when people feared the internet. There was once a time when people feared the smartphones. There was once a time when people feared social media. Yet somehow people adapted. Technology keeps updating. Humans keep adapting. And then all of a sudden, I realized I was asking the wrong question. The question I was asking before was, will AI replace me? But now it's more of, how do I become valuable irrespective of whatever disruption that happens in the technological space? And that's the turning point in my thinking. And here's one truth I want you to always have at the back of your mind. Human problems does not necessarily change. And I'll prove that to you. Now, take for instance, transportation. The problem was never cars. The problem was moving people from one place to another, from one point to a different point. Horses came, it was advanced, cars came, Uber came, the problem still remained the same. Also, let's take for instance communication. We are at a time where it was letters, and then we transcended to mobile phones, to emails, to WhatsApp. Now, all of this is to tell you that human problems does not necessarily change, but rather the method we employ to solve this human problem is what changes over time. Now, here's an important question I want to ask you. If AI becomes 10 times smarter tomorrow, what are those qualities that you feel will still be valuable? Now, as I asked myself this question, and I got to discover that there are certain qualities that tend to survive every technological advancement. Learning, communication, trust, judgment, leadership, problem solving. That's to tell you that the future does not necessarily belong to those who know how to use the amount of AI tools. It belongs to those who know how to create value irrespective of whatever technological advancement that we have. Now, let me be practical with this approach. Imagine you give ChatGPT to two persons, person A and person B. Now, person A does not understand people, person A does not understand business, person A does not know how to solve problems. And then person B, on the other hand, understands people, understands businesses, and understands how to solve problems. Now, which of these persons do you think will create the most value? Of course, the answer is obvious, person B. And that's to tell you that AI in itself does not necessarily create value. It only amplifies value creators. Now, I don't necessarily have all the answers, but here's a list of things that I'm focusing my attention on. Learning AI, improving communication, understanding people, being a person that is trustworthy, and being a problem solver. And in the course of this journey, I've come to the point where I would rather be a valuable person than being an employable person. Because I understand the fact that industries can change, jobs can change, right? Certain situations can come up that will cause a disruption even in our careers. But people who create value tend to find more opportunities. So my goal is not just to be more employable. My goal is to rather be a person of value. Now, I started this journey asking, will AI replace me? But now, I've discovered that that's not the important question to ask at this point in time. The question I'm asking myself every now and then is, how do I remain valuable, irrespective of whatever technological trend that we have? So maybe the bigger question about the AI era isn't, will AI replace us? Maybe it should be, how do we remain valuable in an ever-changing world?